Hi, I'm Mitchell Dale and this is Rugby League Week's Friday Arvo Footy. Joined on the couch today by Tony Adams from Rugby League Week, Eric Groth from the Cronulla Sharks. Clean shaven, Eric Groth.
Clean shaven, yep, mate. Toddy Carney started a little scenario at the Sharks: shave your head or give $50 in for the trip away fund. So I'm not paying $50.
I paid as well.
Yeah, he's straight in.
You're both fine. Now, guys, I want to talk to you about the dangerous throw. There's a lot of confusion around with players and fans. I thought the NRL had a really good chance to make a statement this week on the back of the Alex McKinnon tragedy. We saw two dangerous throws, one from Beau Falloon, one from Jack de Belin. De Belin got a week, Falloon got off scot-free. There just seems to be a lot of inconsistency. Tony, you're a student of the game. Can you tell us what constitutes a dangerous throw?
Yeah, look, the rules basically say if you pick up a player and he lands on his head or his neck, you're in trouble. Now, we had a couple of tackles like that last weekend, as you say, slap on the wrist, so I don't think the message has quite got through.
Yeah, you're right, there's too much grey area. We haven't really had a seminar that's taught us what exactly is considered a dangerous throw and not. I know it's black and white and it sounds that's the way it should be, but there's so many variables, big bodies running into each other and people are getting stronger and faster and they're getting in mangled messes and just trying to wrestle each other to the ground. Things are going to happen, so we pretty much have to come up with something because it's just, we don't want a repeat of what's gone on recently.
No, that's right. Look, confusion seems to reign at the moment. It's not being helped by the inconsistencies at the judiciary. I just think the NRL's got to come down on these a lot harder. Okay, the Titans, they are flying at the moment. They're outright first, and what's more, they say they can win the comp. Now, that's pretty refreshing, guys, when most of the time you hear players just want to make the 8 and see how they're going. Tony, what do you make of them?
Yeah, look, I've studied the stats. The Titans have won 4-1 3 times before. They've never led the comp, though, after 5 rounds. And they're leading it with a -4 and against, so it's just bizarre. I bumped into a couple of Roosters players last night down at Coogee, and all they wanted to ask me was, how are the Titans leading this table? I don't know.
Well, I think it's a good thing, you know, it's something new. Not everybody's used to it, and obviously I'd like the Sharkies to be leading the comp, but mate, Titans, good on them. Everyone was writing them off at the start of the year and they look like they're a genuine threat, so good for rugby league. Yeah,
certainly. We caught up with Kevin Gordon, the Titans winger. He's playing his 100th game tonight against the Broncos. Let's hear what he had to say.
Yeah, I think it's always been a test for us as a team against, just between us two, between Broncos and Gold Coast. But I think we've got a good feeling this year that we're about to take them off, and we're at the top of the ladder. That's to take us up the ladder now, so yeah, it should be a good game.
Yeah, they do love a derby there up at the Gold Coast. Now, speaking of their backs, they don't have any rep players, they don't have any Origin or Test stars, but they're quick.
Definitely very fast, mate. Yeah, I've come up against a lot of those guys, before I'd retired, and no doubt I will again. They are lightning fast, and they're one of them teams you can't relax on for 5 seconds because blokes like Kevin Gordon will just fly past you in a second. So, got to be on your toes, mate. They can embarrass teams.
Yeah, that's right. Speed kills, doesn't it?
Definitely, and these guys, they've scored some amazing drives, haven't they? As soon as they get near the line, they put on these acrobatic dives that I haven't seen you do too much lately.
No, just give me time. I'm warming up, getting the old arthritic bones right, and I'll be straight back into it.
Well, we did see in personal growth last week that you're working on becoming a lighter man on your feet.
That's right, mate. Yes, with my personal growth journey, I'll be the best player in the world probably by around 15.
And multilingual.
Yeah, multilingual.
Boys, quick tip tonight. Who's going to win?
I'm going to go to you first and copy what you say. No, what do you reckon?
I think the Rabbitohs will be good in that game. The other game, let's stick with the Titans. They're on fire.
Yeah, I've got to go Titans, yep.
Yeah, I'm going to take the Broncos. I'm going against both of you blokes. Now, the West Tigers are aiming up big time through the forwards in particular. They just dominated Manly last weekend. Now, Eric, I'm going to put you on the spot. Has there always amongst rival clubs been that idea that you can get the Tigers through the middle? They're a little bit soft?
In recent years, yes, I'd say that's the general consensus there. But, I'm a winger, so it's easy for me to say. But, mate, to be honest, they've completely proven everyone wrong. That game on the weekend against Manly, they just showed that they are a force to be reckoned with. They had a big block of roach in the sheds before the game, firing the boys up. They come out and played like 10-foot tall, bulletproof monsters. So if they keep that up, mate, they're going to be a genuine threat too.
Let me throw in here too, start of the season, I tipped the Tigers to make the 8. People were laughing at me. They're not laughing now.
Tony, you're an absolute genius. Speaking of Blocker Roach, he was in the magazine. He was raving about the Tigers forwards. Reckons they can make the finals on the back of these big boppers. Now, he also caught up with their injured forward Curtis Sirinen at training this week. He says it's just all about a new attitude.
I wouldn't say we've done too much different in terms of training wise, but definitely with our attitude, I think boys like Woodsy and Farrow are really leading from the front, and then some of the new recruits, Marty Tapau and boys like James Gavitt are just getting on the back of it, and they're just big boys who all they want to do is run the ball and smash blokes. So if you just give them a simple job like what they're doing, they're going to do it well. So it's been unreal. Our forwards, if they've dominated, we've won. So I think if boys can keep that consistency, I think we'll be a force to be reckoned with.
Yeah, now the other thing that he did go on to say was that the coach, Michael Potter, is a lot more relaxed. He's not as flustered this year. He's got more time to spend with the players individually. He didn't say it in so many words, but the inference there is that the whole Benji Marshall saga did get a little bit tiring for the club last year.
Definitely, and look, we can only remember back to when he dared to put Benji on the bench last year. It was like the world had come to an end. So that sort of showed that the Tigers to the last few years have been all about Benji, and I think that grated on some of the other players. And let's face it, Benji was not at his best the last few seasons, so I think definitely it's a more relaxed club and it's a better balanced roster now with Benji gone.
Yeah, Eric, what do you think? Have you been in a side where all the attention has been focused on one player, and does that get a bit tiresome for the other players?
Mate, to be honest, we were in 2009, before we started our little winning streak towards the grand final, a lot of the focus was on Jared Hayne. And it did become a bit of a pain in the bum to see the cameras there every day, just hammering him, and he was coming in with a bit of a down attitude, and it kind of spreads. So when we started winning and everyone started getting praise, not just Hainesy, wasn't just getting blamed, mate, the whole vibe of the place changes. So I reckon 100% that it would have been playing on the Tigers' minds last year, but they look fresh and they look like a whole new outfit. And like Curtis said, mate, it's all about attitude.
Yeah, that's right. Big game for them against the Cowboys tomorrow night. I'll get a quick tip, boys. Tony, out at Campbelltown, who do you think?
Yeah, out at Campbelltown, Tigers for sure.
Tigers for me.
Yeah, I'm going to take the Cowboys. I just think the loss of James Tedesco and Braithen Astor will hurt the Tigers, and I also make a point of taking whoever you don't. So it's the Cowboys for me.
What happened to us?
Now, the Warriors, what's going on? It is a club in crisis. We've seen them sack a coach. We've seen an owner take potshots at the board who have retaliated in kind. It all is sounding a little bit like Days of Our Lives over there in New Zealand at the moment. Tony, you're pretty close to Matt Elliott. What can you tell us is the real story about what went down with him getting the axe?
Yeah, that's right, and I've got to state from the start that I have an interest in this. Matty Elliott's a mate of mine. I played a role in him getting the job over there. I think it's grossly unfair what's happened, that they've sacked him 4 games into a new season, in effect, because what I wrote in League Week this week, he was told before this Sharks loss, this game that was supposedly the game that broke the straw that broke the camel's back, well, it didn't. He knew before that game he was gone. So I think basically he's a pawn in the battle between the two owners, Eric Watson and Owen Glenn. He was on Owen Glenn's side. Eric Watson wants the major share of the club. This is his way of doing it. He's trying to force him out by sacking the coach.
Now, Eric, you've been in a club where a coach has been sacked mid-season. What effect does that have on the players?
It's funny, it can have a reverse effect. It's very disruptive and you don't know what's going on and you're in a bit of limbo, but sometimes it can work. When your new coach comes in, there's like a fresh kind of attitude and vibe around the place. It feels like a new place. And you quite often see teams where their coach has been sacked and the new coach comes in mid-season, they win the next game and then go on to have a bit of a decent season. It's unfortunate for the previous coach, and Matty Elliott's such a good bloke. It's going to be interesting to see what happens with the Warriors, because it's a bit of a,
look, Andrew McFadden is a very good coach, so you'd like to think that maybe he can get the best out of the players, and as you say, it freshens the joint up. Who knows, maybe he can turn things around.
Well, he's made a bit of a power move straight away in dropping Felipe Mateo, one of the club's stalwarts there, so he's not mucking around. No.
Still, job security as a Warriors coach. Eric, if you didn't have a lifetime contract with Friday Arvo Footy once your playing career finishes, would you want to go anywhere near that place as a coach?
Mate, yeah, well, mate, I'm sure if I was in the coaching game, you pretty much got to take what you can get, there's not many positions there, so yeah, I'd take it on, why not?
Yeah, well, I mean, Coaching, the job security is not great, but there is a chance to do something with the team. Let's hope Andrew McFadden can get the best out of them for the rest of the year. It's the Friday Arvo Footy Encouragement Award for Excellence in Rugby League. Over to you, Eric.
This week's Encouragement Award goes to Toddy Carney's eyeball. Now, Nathan Stapleton scored his 4th try and Toddy Carney went in to celebrate, and in the huddle there, somebody had a stray finger, hit him in the eyeball, hit the deck like a sack of potatoes. The whole team carried on high-fiving while he was struggling trying to find his eyeball. I've seen his eyeball up close. Let me tell you, it's very scary. It's got a mind of its own. If you see him out on the drink midweek, it's not his fault, it's the eyeball's fault. So, Toddy, hope your eye gets better. This is for you, champ.
Well, there you go. Todd Carney's eyeball, another proud winner of the Friday Arvo Footy Encouragement Award. Okay, that's it for another episode of Rugby League Week's Friday Arvo Footy. Thank you, Tony. Thank you, Eric. Thank you for looking after Tony for us, Eric.
Been very well behaved today.
And thanks for watching. Enjoy the footy this weekend. We'll be back again next week.